Now, all of this said, I don't want to shortchange the idea of the sales rep physician relationship, because it's going to continue to be vital to the success of pharma companies. But as I said, the MSLs and that peer-to-peer scientific non-promotional conversations that they can have are going to be critical to the work that's being done. And when you look at it that way, the idea of a transparent management process of knowing who is going to own and guide those relationships really is crucial, both inside the company and outside the company. Inside, you're wanting to have this open, honest communications around the work so that you can match the talents of the people you have with the different stages of work that's going to take place around the life cycle of drugs that you have. And you're also going to have to stay updated and informed on the compliance initiative and guidelines that are out there at academic institutions, as well as what's going on with the regulatory work. And all of these things means a lot of communications has to take place. So the idea of any one but medical affairs having primary oversight does probably seem a bit contrarian in today's industry. As I said, we are seeing a swing, if you will, back toward the middle, but it's still medical affairs who is primarily leading the charge when it comes to KOL management today. And reality is that mature companies are not ready to release medical affairs from this role. And that means that your medical affairs leaders are going to have to work hard to bridge that chasm that has crept into the workspace with commercial operations, because you have to ensure that all KOL and corporate needs are being met. And this is a role that is going to fall on the leaders in that medical affairs group. And as this slide right here is beginning to show, medical affairs, clinical affairs, and marketing, they all have a hand in KOL management. Unfortunately, these functions are seldom bridged by processes, personnel, or even systems. So when these silos exist or established, the people who ultimately are hurt by this are the KOLs. The KOLs are not going to be receiving the full services that your company can provide, and this can lead to incomplete information being gathered about key opinion leaders, and also it can lead to challenges in sales and marketing operations having a full understanding of what is needed out in the real world. So you have to think about what roles you want KOLs to play in your organization, from influencing them, and also you have to be thinking about treatment paradigms and providing insights to diseases and treatment regimens. These are all things that you're going to have to keep in mind that are also playing in the mind of the key opinion leaders that are out there. So as you begin to think of your own KOLs and how they work with you, think about, do they serve the following purposes for you? Are they helping with, in the areas of drug discovery? Can they help you write the protocols and define efficacies of the drugs while studies are taking place? With medical affairs, can they help the group on drug usage and defining side effects? What are they hearing? What are they seeing? Can they act as a leading indicator of therapy acceptance when it comes to your sales and marketing groups? Can they help with the information dissemination? Can they provide guidance to other physicians and institutions on prescribing new drugs? These are all things you have to keep in mind and begin to balance what it is that's going to make for a strong KOL management system in your organization. When your internal groups are not working in harmony to serve KOLs, you, in essence, have created a broken DNA helix. This can lead to disarray and mutations from what you want to do as an organization. But when all of your functions begin working together, there is no breakdown. In fact, you begin to see success being born in the company. And your medical affairs groups can begin really having oversight with the KOLs and providing direct actionable plans. And they're going to be working with the marketing groups to make sure that the right people are getting out and visiting KOLs, delivering the information that has to be given, and that there's no disagreements to what is being provided, and you're not confusing the people you're working with. And ultimately what it comes down to is building and forging strong relationships both inside the company that are ultimately going to benefit you as you move out into the world, working with your key opinion leaders who are going to be speaking with other physicians and other healthcare professionals out in the field. So the current KOL management structure has tended to retain a legacy attribute of commercial leadership in some places, with medical affairs really leading that charge. What we have found in even moving more back toward the cross-functional group is that when you go out and talk directly to the KOLs as thought leaders selected back in 2011, it really is pretty clear that they want to talk with and invest their time with the medical science liaisons who are out there. They feel that the medical science liaisons are the people who can provide the most benefit and knowledge to them as individuals that's going to help them grow their careers, but also help with the treatment of the diseases that they have focused their life's works on. In fact, the Thought Leader Select study found from their surveying of endocrinologists and others that 70% of veteran KOLs preferred and expected to have contact with either industry executives or MSLs only. In fact, it was only 3% of them who said they wanted to work directly with sales and marketing as their main source of information. And the same is with the new emerging KOLs that are out there. They were wanting to work with the MSLs as their primary contact, and they wanted it to be face-to-face. They felt that was where the value was, being able to meet, build bonds with people, and engage on the information that was of importance to them in the scientific areas that they were focused on disease-wise. So as we discussed early on, the idea of a KOL and what they do, it really requires a transparent management process. When it comes to maintaining and leveraging these relationships, it is about open and honest communication, and it is about understanding who the people are you have inside your company who can best provide those skill sets and working relationships with the KOLs. And you need to ultimately begin to look at developing reliable strategic profiling and dedicated staffing so that when you go out into the field and begin working with KOLs, you know who you're looking to work with, you're tracking your engagements with them, and you're making sure that you're not leaving holes in the work that's taking place.